Good morning. So, I got up late. I don't know. I turned off my music because normally I leave my soothing gospel playing while I'm sleeping. But somehow it was silent. So, I woke up almost 7:30 when I'm supposed to be at work at 8. So now I am here going through traffic, like moving like a slow poach. Look at traffic. So, as I was taking my shower, the thought came to me when yesterday I saw an article about the devil is just doing God's beckoning. I don't know. You see, there's so many stuff going on around, and there's only one. They come up. Sometimes people will find an example to say this is the case. When Jesus, or when God said to the devil, said, "Do you consider my servant Job?" And people will be asking, like, why was Jesus in a meeting, or why was God in a meeting with the devil? So that he's there having a discussion to say, hey, have you considered my servant Job? Maybe it's the same thing he said with Enoch. Have you considered my servant Enoch? But Enoch was so holy that Enoch ended up caught up into heaven. He didn't die. But Job also didn't fail the test. Job got his life restored to him. So the thing is, okay, with Job, when he said, have you considered my Job? And then the devil said, well, you put an edge of protection around him, so I couldn't touch him. So see, that means he was working before, because if he wasn't working, how would he know that God had put an edge of protection around Job? So that means he was always messing with Job. But then when the test came, Job passed, right? And it's so funny because the same thing that he told his wife, well, the same thing that the devil told God is the same thing he told the wife, because the wife used the exact word. He says, curse God and die, because the devil said that Job is going to curse you anyway. He's going to curse you, right? So sometimes you see these tests and you want them to say, why was his wife didn't die? His sons and daughters died, and all his property, his animal, everything, sore boil was all over his body. You can imagine he became a homeless bum, just really mess, sore, festering his body. And then he's still praying, still worshiping God. And sometimes people see you going through a lot of struggles, for real. And it's not even them. It's the enemy coming and say, hey, look at that one, look at that one. Go tell him something. Go tell him to say, man, that's something bad he did. He deserved to just die. But the funny thing you don't remember, when to live is Christ and to die is gain. So even if you die, you still you have an eternity. This life is just temporary, because this body is temporary. But the spirit that lives within you, will I was in my thought, just for a brief second, I was thinking about something that I heard when the guy says we're a spirit that lives in a body. But I'm saying it's the same thing any way you turn it. You can't say a body that lives in a spirit. I don't know. But anyway, we can always think about it. But we have to remember that, we're being watched. They're watchers. And just like how when he sent Gabriel. So, in the Bible it says, God has made man a little lower than angel and have crowned us with glory and honor. You're thinking that, okay, so the angels in heaven were jealous, be like, hey. Because you have to think of it that it has to be something that God do. Why the angels, the man was the praise, the king of praise, and be like, hey, I'm not going to bow to no mankind. And it wasn't about bowing to mankind. He was just there because then you have them as watchers, and they were just watching. Because remember this man that came to one of the other apostles, I don't know who he was, that came to one of these men, and he said, are you with us or you're against us? And he said, neither, right? So sometimes you have the angels that came, and how many times we have, remember when which one of those disciples was praying and his prayer was answered? And well, it was like 40 days later. He said, I was wrestling with some angel because he held up in your prayer. He held up your prayer. But there's so much information where you could think of it that the enemy, the angels were made to serve mankind in a sense. Some of the angels were commanded to serve mankind, and then Satan was like, I'm not doing that. I'm proud. He was like, hey, this is mankind. I'm not bowing. I'm not going to tell no mankind nothing. So now he's the accuser of the brethren, because he said, oh, see the person who you make? See? He's going to curse you and they're going to die. We all going to, a lot of times we fall to temptation.